We're just thinking about, you know, if we wrote a nice thank you note to all these people, it would take like tons of them.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay.
so I'm thinking about all the people that helped us with Cub Scouts and PTSOs when we first got here, fundraisers. I'd like to thank.
Why don't we just do it and then you can just...
I think he's
Or
got it
you're already
going,
doing it.
honey.
Well, I'm just rolling it.
He's
Oh,
rolling.
okay. You're already
So,
rolling it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, hey, Shelton, God bless. Mr. Mack, Mrs. Mack, for those of you that never met her. Anyways, we're moving to Yakima. Got a new job, and
It's
it's
exciting.
an exciting adventure. We've always been adventurous ever since we've known each other for 31 years, 33, 34.
Yeah.
Get my calculator out. Oops. Anyways, married for 30, but hey, we just wanted to tell everyone here over the last 22 years how much you've all meant to us and helped us. Oh, I'm going to start crying. Ooh. But anyways,
Here you go.
yeah, we've just always been adventurous, and when I met her in Colorado, it was an adventure, and it's still an adventure. And
It was an adventure when we came here
Yeah.
with the boys when they were just little. And
now they're grown up and working and in college, and like a lot of you students, you're going to grow up and continue and move on, and you know, we just hope the best for you. But there's so many people that, you know, we want to say thank you to, because we just feel like, you know, we tried to be a part of people's lives and help them and help, you know, different organizations, you know, anything from Relay to Life to Habitat for Humanity, or starting even back when we were doing Cub Scouts and they were trying to talk me into being the leader,
Cub Master
for 8 years, and running around Oysterfest yelling wasabi, for any of those who remember that. And but it's been an exciting time. You know, we've been real privileged to be here and to raise our family here, and it's time now for us to move on. Doesn't mean we're disappearing off the planet Earth. We're just, you know, moving to a different job, going to have the same career, teaching, and possibly coaching wrestling again, and doing Skills USA. So, you know, the exciting fun never ends, and we just want to thank Diedrich too for coming and sharing his, you know, time with us to, you know, be able to, you know, say, hey, Shelton, thank you very much. We love you guys, and you know, I'm sure there's many things that we could think of and different people we could say thank you to, but you know, just keep supporting each other.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Just keep supporting each other and helping each other out, and you know, work through stuff. You know, that's what makes Shelton great, is you know, people when they get together and you start working together, and yeah, you're going to have your little squabbles, but you know, work through them. You know, because in the education system and the different programs that are here in the community, you know, it's all about, you know, who you're trying to help, and if you have that at your heart and you're doing it with your heart, then the people you're helping, and you're going to help yourself, and everyone's going to have a great time. And I don't know what else.
Well, I just wanted to thank supporters that supported me on the board for 11 years almost.
All your phone calls.
And I wanted to do it for kids. That was my goal. So.
Hey, I don't have to go to the garage anymore.
So. Yeah, I used to send them to the garage when I had private phone calls. So, thank you everybody, and let's see, who else? Oh, I want to send a little shout out, get well wish to Zin.
Yeah, Zin, we love you.
You get better.
You take care of yourself and get better, you fighter.
And then also I wanted to thank all the different people, businesses that have supported all these fundraisers that we've done over the years. And
you know,
from Becky at Home Meats and out at Black Star, and then there's just been so many of you.
Simpson, Andre, all you guys on my advisory committee, you know, God bless you for all your help and always being there to help the kids with different skills contests, and you know, just a big thank you. Can't say enough how much, you know, it means to have support, and when you needed help, you guys were always there, and it really just made things great for the kids. So just thank you again. I already told you thank you, but thank you again.
So if you're ever over in the Yakima area, we're always in the phone book. So look us up via Con Dios, and thank you again.
Yep, have been in the phone book for 22 years here. So.
Yep. So.
Couple questions.
Okay.
Is there anything in 22 years, anything that stuck out in your mind? One big thing, or?
For me, there's been a number of different things. Probably the first shock was. My second year, maybe my third year, I was asked by one of my students to be his best man at a wedding. Which was really neat. Dale Martinell, and as a matter of fact, we saw him the other day. We were just talking about that, and he has a son that's getting ready to go to the high school now, and they're just things like that have been a surprise or a blessing, I guess you could say, and just little things like that.
It's been neat, watching with Roger's career, when he got Program of the Year for, what is it, WIACT?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Wacky, that was awesome. No, don't tell the story. And
it's a pretty funny story,
but that's okay, we won't tell that
I guess
story.
The people at the table will just have to know about it.
And then also the past few years of success he's been having with Skills USA. That's been awesome. It's been awesome to see, for me, support that the district's had as far as the levies and that kind of thing, and people who are really committed to our community and the education of our students and our kids. So being able to give my kids their diploma, that was cool. And what else?
And running your first election and not knowing really what was going on, but
with 27 votes, that was a shock.
Yeah.
So I think he was wanting me just to be prepared that when I lost, it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
So when I won, I was like,
we were both in shock.
Okay.
What does this mean now?
Okay, let's go for this.
Watch out what you ask for, people.
It's been a privilege to serve, and I did it for the kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about your new job, Roger.
So I'm going to be teaching at West Valley Yakima, and I'm going to be teaching wood technology and doing Skills USA, and then I've also talked to him about the possibility of coaching wrestling. And so it's going to be a neat experience, and
but he's going to be different kind of woods.
Yeah,
he's going to be doing.
It's not going to be the construction. It's going to be more the more cabinet making and fine furniture and woodworking, and the kids are going to be working on a national certification called Passport, which is a lifetime career certification, and it's going to be pretty neat, pretty interesting. They don't have anything like that there right now, and so it's going to be. They're excited about me bringing the program there and being involved with that program, and the kids being involved with it. And it's also tied into an organization called Architectural Woodworking Industry, which is a North American woodworking industry, millwrighting and woodworking industry and that. And so they kind of match up teachers to different mentors and stuff and help them out and just try and help kids get into those different careers. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And it's a new school. I've never been in a new school.
Yeah, it's only 6 years old.
It's only 6 years old.
And it's all under one roof.
Under one roof, so that was really weird.
Yeah, it's cool to see it.
So what led you to make this decision to move to Yakima?
Well, one, our sons are all grown up and pursuing different things. Two, we had been over there for some conferences for him, and when I was over there was a huge improvement in my joints with the dry climate. And you hear everybody always talk about, when you retire you do this snowbird thing and go south in the winter when it's really humid. But Yakima is known as the Palm Springs of Washington. So I mean, I could feel a difference within 12 hours. So we decided if we were going to make a change, now is the time to make a change because he still has 10 years to teach. So instead of changing closer to retirement, that way we were thinking about that location rather than moving like to Arizona or Southern California. And then we'd also he looked at a job back in Virginia, but Virginia's worse humidity than here.
Humid-wise, I was raised in Chicago, so I wasn't really, didn't want to go past Mississippi or close to it.
Yeah, so that's why we decided to do it now. And I only had a little over a year left on the school board, and but you know, it's a paying position. So he looked at some other locations on the east side of the state too, because there were things open in Moses Lake and Wenatchee and Lake Chelan area and
East Valley,
Yakima also. So this turned out to be the best fit, and they're excited to have him. So
they should be. I don't. Is this essentially a better location for where your kids are now? Or?
Well, one's in Tacoma,
okay,
and the younger one is in Ellensburg, and he's finishing up his college degree over there. But he really loves the east side of the state. He loves the climate and everything. So I'm not sure if he's going to be looking for positions with his area of expertise, because he's specializing in, geology?
Bachelor of Science
in geology.
Wherever he gets for a job.
He's got some specialties that
he's got some military training in a GIS mapping program that a lot of businesses use, and Shell and natural resources, business, and
so
Fish and Wildlife, I guess, uses it, and even just local cities and stuff for mapping, different mapping purposes, I guess. I don't know it all, but he's pretty
riverbed
excited.
Mapping and all of that kind of stuff. So he's using that information and his skills, kind of in other areas that he wasn't necessarily trained to use it for when he was in the military. So he's excited though.
Diversified.
And he kind of likes the idea, Mom, Dad, a half an hour away, can come down for dinner.
Yeah, come down for food.
So other than the people we've met over the years, is there anything you're going to miss the most?
Going to the coast. Going over to
really close.
Grayland and Westport in an
nice
hour and 15
Shelton.
minutes,
right
or going
there.
up on Hood Canal at Potlatch and Hoodsport, and just being able to go there so quickly and close. There's a lot of water over there too, but there's something about that smell of salt air. So.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And when the boys growing up, we always would go crabbing, or we would go and look at all of the marine life
swimming,
and all of that kind of thing. So
oysters.
They've grown up understanding about tides and how it shifts, and where, I don't think kids on the east side of the state necessarily learn about tides and how the tides work necessarily as a matter of everyday life. So yeah, we've really enjoyed that, and then just the nature aspects around here, and
you're gonna miss all the humidity.
no, not gonna miss humidity.
And you guys, today it's 94 out and 80% humidity.
So
I know it'll be 99 in Yakima, but it's only going to be 10% humidity.
So. But there's nice rivers over there and lakes. I grew up in eastern Washington. So I grew up in Spokane and was born up in Ione. So I'm used to the east side climate, so to speak. And I'm just looking forward to getting back into doing some of my art stuff and really getting involved with a church over there And just having that be more of a focus rather than spread out into school board service and that kind of thing.
So no political future for you over there, at least not right now.
Not right away. And not if I plan on staying married.
Okay.
So, well, you know, I don't plan on getting in any political thing over there.
No.
But see, that was the whole thing. I never really looked at my service on the board as being political. You know, people ask me, well, what do you think, how you like being in politics? And I never saw it as that, because it wasn't a jump-off point for me to go to the legislature or you know, county commissioner or anything like that. I was there to serve a purpose. So I didn't have to have that thought process, I guess, of dealing with that.
In your time on the board, is there anything that you didn't quite get done?
Oh yeah. Well, there's things that I would have liked to have seen us by now in the process for a bond for rebuilding Mountain View and rebuilding the high school. The economy blowout from 2008 kind of took the wind out of the sails for something like that at that point, because we had already planned a 5-year plan that when this was all going to take place, and with what's gone on, it's nice finally to see that the state is starting to turn around as far as its financial support having to do with the McCleary. And you know, actually we were able to put a lot of funds this spring into maintenance needs that we've needed to do for a long time. But when you're always strapped for those funds coming in, it's really hard to rob Peter to pay Paul. So I think that was probably one of the most frustrating things about being on the board, was going through the process of budget and figuring how are you going to be able to keep people and keep their jobs when you probably should be riffing, and making sure that you're also taking care of the investment that the community has entrusted you with, of those buildings. So yeah, that I would have liked to have been able by now to have rebuilt Mountain View and the high school. So hopefully they will be able to do that in the next maybe 2 or 3 years and really focus on putting together a bond so that that can happen again.
Roger, in your teaching career, what's the biggest change?
No, it seems like every year there was changes. They're just, you know, new, as some would say, unfunded mandates coming down from OSPI, and you know, CTE was just a part of that whole thing, and Common Core. We do a thing called frameworks, so you have to write up frameworks and teach the frameworks, and you know, so you're always trying to make sure your program's aligned to those and make sure that everything's going as well as possible and keep kids excited, and you know, it's just do what you have to do to, you know, let them get graduated and get the credits they need to find a career and move on. And so it is becoming more and more complicated with the requirements from OSPI, because so many kids are required to pass math, pass English tests, and so all these different tests that are coming down. And so a lot of times CTE was taking a big hit with kids that normally are not having such a demanding core curriculum. You know, they're having to use a lot of their electives, you know, for CTE electives. So, you know, they don't get to take a lot of the different auto shop and welding and construction classes and that. And so that really, you know, put a detriment to a lot of the kids' variety in schools. So it's really nice to see. One thing that they have changed is right now they have to pass 1 math test instead of 2. So algebra 1 or geometry. So that really lightens the load for a lot of kids and the stress for parents of making sure their kids are going to graduate. And then, you know, they have English and science tests also that they have to. So the demands from OSPI are really,
and the State Board
really
of
making
Education.
the biggest change, you know, for, you know, what happens in education. And, you know, there's a lot of really good CTE programs out there, but it's really hard to keep a lot of those kids that are lower levels that need to go into CTE classes to, you know, follow a pathway for a career and stuff, you know. So those are the biggest things that I have seen over the years, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. It'll be interesting to see.
I guess that was one of my other frustrations, being involved as far as the legislative rep and dealing with the changes from the State Board of Education and these graduation requirements. I think in 6 years we changed our graduation requirements 5 times. So that meant every incoming 9th grade class had different graduation requirements than the one before. And then you have your counselors and your administrators and your teachers all having to keep up on what these changes mean for all these different students. It's, you know, it's just very frustrating because it's not necessarily like it's going to be better for that graduation requirement to change that way. But once they put it into place, and then it's just our requirement to make sure we make it work. So, and that affects teachers a lot on how they're able to teach and how much time they put into it. So, which they all work way more than everybody realizes anyway. So, and I'm kind of an advocate for teachers, I guess, and for kids.
That's all that I had for you. Is there anything else you wanted to?
Nope, just thank you very much.
Thanks, Shelton.
Like we said, come and see us if you are over that way. Give us a call.
Yep.